Welcome students. In this video we are going to continue the chapter number 3 of class 7 from novel A Christmas Carol. So let's start from 38 page. The little girl happily told her brother that she had come to take him back home. She clapped her small hands and laughed, repeating the word home out of joy. The boy, young Scrooge, replied and asked, "Are you talking about home?" Fanny. Fanny is the name of his sister. Fanny replied, "Yes." She was full of joy, overflowing with happiness. She said, "This time you are coming home forever, not just for holidays. Our father has changed and is now very kind. Home feels like heaven now." Fanny continued, "One night, while she was going to sleep, father spoke so gently to her that she got the courage to ask him again if he could come home. She asked about Scrooge to come home. Father said, yes, and sent a carriage coach to bring Scrooge home. Now, she said, you are going to grow up and be a man, said Fanny, widening her eyes, and you will never have to return to this school again. This is a cheerful voice to be explained in the next page. Page number 39. Fanny clapped her hands again and laughed. She stood on her toes to hug her brother. Excited like a child, she pulled him towards the door. Scrooge followed her. Suddenly, a loud voice shouted from the hall, asking someone to bring down young Scrooge's box luggage. The school teacher came into the hall. He gave both children cake and wine to celebrate Christmas. Scrooge's luggage was brought and put into the carriage. The children said goodbye to the teacher, got into the carriage, and left. The ghost of Christmas past said, she, means Fanny, had a very kind and loving heart. Scrooge agreed emotionally and said, yes, she did. The ghost continued, she died after growing up, and I believe she had children. Scrooge answered that she had only one child. The ghost confirmed, that's right, that child is your nephew Fred. Scrooge looked uncomfortable, uneasy, and replied shortly with a disturbed yes. After showing the school memory, the ghost took Scrooge to a warehouse and asked, do you recognize this place? Scrooge said, of course, I know it. I worked here as a young trainee. Apprenticed means learning a trade under someone. They entered the warehouse. Scrooge saw an old man standing behind the counter and got very excited. Scrooge said joyfully, it's old Fezzik. God bless him. Fezzik stopped writing, looked at clock. It was 7 p.m. Rubbed his hands, fixed his big coat, and smiled. Then Fezzik spoke cheerfully. Jovial means happy and full of fun. This is someone happily calling out to Ebenezer, means young Scrooge, and Dick, his fellow apprentice. Yo yo is a cheerful shout like hey there. The memory shows Scrooge as a young man. He walked in quickly and actively, briskly, along with his fellow apprentice. Apprentice's trainee, Dick. Fezzik, their kind boss, cheerfully told them, boys, stop working now. It's Christmas Eve. closed the shop by putting the shutters up. Shutters up means close the shop. Scrooge and Dick quickly started putting up the shop's wooden covers, means shutters. The numbers show how fast and playfully they worked step by step. They finished before someone could even count to 12. They were breathing fast, like tired racehorses. Fezziwig jumped happily from his high desk and shouted joyfully, "Move things aside, boys. Let's make space to enjoy. Let's go, Dick. Let's go, Ebenezer." Clear the space. Everyone was very excited and looking forward to celebrating Christmas. They cleared everything very quickly in just 1 minute. They moved all things out of the way, cleaned the floor with water, fixed the lamps and added fuel to the fire to make the place warm and bright. The warehouse became as cozy, warm, dry, and well lit as a fancy ballroom. A musician, fiddler's musician, entered with his music. He climbed the high, lofty, huge desk and turned it into a music stage. Mrs. Fezziwig entered, smiling happily. The three daughters of Mr. and Mrs. Fezziwig came in, smiling brightly and looking sweet. Six young men came in. All of them had crushes on Miss Fezziwig. All the young workers from Fezziwig's business entered. The housemaid arrived with her cousin, who was a baker. The cook came along with the milkman, who was a close friend of her brother. Even the neighbor boy and girl joined in. One by one, everyone kept coming in. Everyone started dancing. 20 pairs at the same time. They danced in different patterns, half round, then in reverse, moving through the middle and coming back, spinning around the room again and again. There were many dances, delicious cakes, loads of food, and beer to enjoy. Finally, Mr. Fezziwig himself stepped forward to dance with his wife, Mrs. Fezziwig. When the clock showed 11 o'clock, this home style party came to an end. Mr. and Mrs. Fezziwig stood at the door, one on each side, and shook hands with everyone personally as they left, wishing each one a Merry Christmas. Scrooge was enjoying watching all of this. Meanwhile, the ghost spirit was quietly observing Scrooge's reactions, but Scrooge didn't realize it. The ghost said, "It's such a small thing to make these people feel so thankful." Scrooge repeated the word small in surprise, meaning it was not a small thing to him. Scrooge is talking about Mr. Fezziwig. He says Fezziwig has the power to make people happy or sad, make work feel easy, light, or heavy and difficult, burdensome, enjoyable or tiring, toil. Mr. Fezziwig's power comes from kindness, his words, smiles, and small actions, not from money. The joy he spreads feels just as precious as he had spent a huge amount of money. Scrooge noticed the ghost looking at him and he suddenly stopped talking. Scrooge, feeling regretful, wistfully means regretful, said that he now wished he could say something kind to his own clerk, Bob Cratchit. The spirit said, "I don't have much time left. Hurry up, let's go." Now the memory changed. Scrooge appeared older, a grown man at the peak of his adulthood. Scrooge was sitting next to a beautiful young woman, wearing a mourning dress. Mourning dress means clothes worn to show sadness, maybe after someone's death. The young woman was crying. She said gently, "It doesn't matter to you much anymore. You have fallen in love with money, not me." The lady was saying to Scrooge. She added, "If your money can make you as happy as I could have, then I won't say anything." Scrooge tried to defend himself. He said, "I haven't changed the way I feel about you." The young woman disagreed silently by shaking her head. She reminded him, "We used to love each other when we were poor and happy." They were contented at that time with their simple life. She said, "We had promised." Pledged means promised to stay strong together and slowly make our life better. She said, "It is now an old story. You got a little success and now you have changed. You are not the same man anymore." Scrooge gets irritated or frustrated by what she says. She says, "I don't have any money or dowry, and you now value everything only in terms of profit and benefit." She adds, "I know that if we marry, you will later regret it." She tells him, "So I will give you what you want. I will not marry you." She says, "This is what you want, Ebenezer. I pity you." She adds, "I hope you find happiness in the life you've chosen, a life of money." After saying this, she goes away and they separate forever. Scrooge begs the spirit, "Don't show me anything else. Take me back. Why are you enjoying hurting me like this?" The ghost says, "Just one more scene." Now they appear in a different place, a cozy room, not very big. A young woman is sitting by the fire, and her small daughter is sitting across from her. Other children are also there, playing and making noise. The place is messy, but in the way that children make a mess while playing. No one is bothered by the mess. It is happy home. The mother and her daughter laugh happily and enjoy the moment. After some time, the small girl gets up and joins the other kids. Someone knocks at the door. Everyone runs to the door, and the little girl is in the front. Their father comes home, and another man is carrying a lot of Christmas gifts for them. The whole family feels very happy and thankful. The children hug and kiss their father and even the porter, showing their love and happiness. After a while, all the children except the smallest one take their gifts and go to bed. The noise and excitement slowly comes to an end. Now we are going to start with page number 45. The father sits down with his wife and daughter near the fireplace, with his daughter affectionately leaning on him. The man smiles at his wife and says, "Belly, I saw one of your old friends today." Belly asks, "Who was that?" Her husband replies, "Try to guess." She says, "How can I guess?" and laughs, while he also laughs along. He says, "It was Mr. Scrooge. I passed by his office window. The window was open and a candle was lit inside, so I looked in." He adds, "I heard that his business partner is dying, and there sat Scrooge all alone, truly alone in the world." The Lady Belly is the same girl who had earlier broken off with Scrooge. Scrooge says with a shaken voice, "Spirit, take me away from here." The ghost replies, "I told you these are memories from the past. They are just what they are. Don't blame me." Scrooge fights with the ghost to get away. He grabs the ghost's cap and covers the light coming from the ghost's head. Then Scrooge falls onto his bed and goes into a restless and uneasy sleep. So, students, this is the end of this chapter. In the next chapter, we will learn about the second of the three spirits, fourth chapter. Let's solve the exercise now given on 47 page. Students, please note down this exercise. Thank you.